Hello again and welcome to Pearl Magazine. With work bonuses paid out and students finishing school, spring is a popular season to recruit talents to fill jobs. Zella Chin reports on which sectors are hiring and how the government's Top Talent Pass scheme affects recruitment.
Hong Kong is a cultural melting pot. I sort of have like an international background growing up.
Nora Liu was born in Beijing. She recently came to Hong Kong to work.
It just felt natural for me to interact with people here, to get to know a lot of different ethnics and their cultures, and it's all very vibrant in here.
The 31-year-old moved to Australia during her teenage years for school. She worked in Melbourne and then moved back to Beijing during the pandemic to be closer to family. Her dad suggested that she look for opportunities in Hong Kong.
I was living in Beijing and I was looking for jobs that has more international perspectives, and they said, why don't you try Hong Kong? So that's when we started to think about this Hong Kong.
She applied for the government's Top Talent Pass in December 2022. It enables her to come to the city to find a job and work. Once her visa was approved, Nora arrived in the city to activate the visa last November. That weekend, she attended the job fair held at the Asia World Expo on Lantau Island.
That job fair, I attracted my eyes because it was targeting global talent. And that was also one of my main purposes of looking for a job that has that international element to it. So I can leverage, I think the language and some of my experience to it.
She had several years of work experience in marketing and was looking for roles that matched her skills. And she met with one of the exhibitors, Jeffrey Goldstein. He founded a Hong Kong-based company more than 10 years ago. It provides technology solutions to clients in Greater China. Jeffrey was looking to hire for a marketing position.
It was critical that the person spoke both Mandarin, Cantonese, and also English to fulfill their role. So we needed to get someone onboarded as quickly as possible, which only gave us 4 weeks to get them trained before the departure of the former person.
The preference was to hire local candidates that could start work immediately.
The problem is there's not enough local people.
With the government's introduction of the Top Talent Pass scheme, or TTPS, at the end of 2022, the pool of talent in Hong Kong increased. TTPS seeks to attract talent with high income, good academic qualifications, and some work experience.
There are some very qualified, candidates that come in from China who could also speak, Cantonese and have come to Hong Kong for their, master's degree, and they're very highly qualified, and they're looking to relocate to Hong Kong, and that provides us with the ability to be able to hire them.
After reviewing over 500 applications, the company hired Nora because of her communication skills. Plus, she had the Top Talent Pass, which allowed her to start work right away.
Had she not had the, visa, we wouldn't be able to hire her because we'd have to sponsor her, and that would be a much more lengthy and difficult process.
Nora was thrilled to get the job offer only 3 weeks after the first meeting.
HR called me, and then we were like, you got the job? And then I was like, for real? Is this true? And then she was like, can you believe it? I was like, yeah. So it was a fast experience because I didn't expect for me, when I first come into Hong Kong, I wasn't expecting me to get the job in just one try.
Thank you.
She's now the company's marketing coordinator for the APAC region.
It felt like it's flat management, so I can always voice my opinion, my thoughts, and it feels that I've been heard, I've been seen from my work, whereas before I felt like there's a top-down management with my previous jobs.
In the last 12 months, the number of employees in the Hong Kong office has doubled. Jeffrey says the government's various talent schemes help his business to grow.
It means there's more qualified people for us to hire. So we're expanding to support the growth from our business. So the business is growing exponentially now. We're getting a lot of leads and opportunities that are generated from outside Hong Kong that are generating business, in Hong Kong.
Nora lives temporarily at a service residential unit in Yau Ma Tei for now. She flies from Beijing to Hong Kong to work on projects for days to weeks at a time.
We can have like a 3-hour flights and coming in and out for the projects, for the work, and then I think I'm leveraging that geographical convenience for that. So yes, I'll be starting looking for a long-term rental apartment, I think, in the next month.
She's waiting to pass her probation period at work to relocate to the SAR full-time. Suki He also commutes to her office in Tsim Sha Tsui when needed. She lives in Dongguan. She has work experience in the finance industry in the mainland and a master's degree in accounting from Hong Kong UST. And she believes working in the city would take her career to the next level.
My eyes is always on Hong Kong because Hong Kong is a very unique city. It is the financial center of the world. So when I heard about TTPS, I want to apply for it and want to develop my career here.
Once she received the Top Talent Pass, Suki joined a large insurer last September and sells insurance products to her network of clients. One of the key priorities of the financial institution is to increase the number of agents.
After the border reopened between Hong Kong and China, we have seen the resurgence of insurance demand from MCV customers, the mainland Chinese visitors. And in order to cope with the increasing demand, we are also seeking talents with this background, who are having a deep understanding of these customers. They have the network with these customers.
And he finds that those visa holders are very driven individuals.
These talents are usually highly motivated to achieving success, and they are fast learners. All these qualities make them a valuable addition to the team because they are able to adapt to new environment quickly, and they will help us achieve the business target.
Suki likes working at the insurer because the flexible schedule allows her to raise her 2 children, study for a PhD at Polytechnic University, and manage her career.
I really think financial planning is a good profession for me. It offers great prospect and potential. Nowadays, there is a great demand of financial planning, and I can help my clients to achieve their short-term, mid-term, and long-term financial goals.
She's working on achieving her next career milestones.
And now I want to focus more on my own career, such as provide some more comprehensive financial planning advice for my customers to achieve their financial goals, and also build my own team.
By February, the government received over 72,000 applications for the scheme and approved nearly 59,000. And almost 44,000 talents have arrived in the city.
This would be our financial services division, and that would be across front office, private banking, asset management, hedge funds.
John Maloli leads the Hong Kong office of a global recruiting firm. It specializes in hiring for financial services, technology, manufacturing, property, retail, and hospitality. He says the talent scheme comes at a bad time for recruiting because the initiative brings more talent into the market. But there are fewer job opportunities.
They've been somewhat unfortunate in that it has come at a time where the job market in terms of opportunities out there is somewhat depressed compared to where it was 18 months to 2 years ago.
That's when organizations had a very significant demand for talent.
So you had a 18-month bull run in recruitment really from January 2021 through to the mid part of 2022. And As the vaccine rollout was beginning to happen through kind of the latter stage of 2021, there was a sense that borders would open, there would be a concurrent economic uptick. But by mid-2022, it was quite clear that that wasn't going to be the case. The amount of hiring made wasn't really supported by the revenues coming through. And what we've seen in the last 18, 20 months is quite a significant pullback in hiring levels and overall confidence in the hiring market.
And this year, recruiting has been very slow.
Specifically in 2024, I would say this is probably the slowest start to a recruitment year that we've seen since the global financial crisis 15 years ago. We're also seeing a significant focus on cost control from most companies. So that is resulting, I would say, in less senior level hiring and probably more mid-level hiring.
Organizations are still hiring for a few positions.
The two areas where we're seeing the most hiring would be technical areas, technology and transformation, and specific areas of engineering, where that level of technical know-how is really a company's USP or kind of competitive advantage in the market. So they cannot not but hire for those type of areas. It keeps their business running. The other areas would be kind of commercial areas, sales, business development, client relationship management.
For those changing jobs this year, John says to expect a 10 to 15% increase in salary, compared to a 20% increase 2 years ago. While recruiting may be slow for the moment, the talent scheme enabled Nora Liu to come and work in the city. She enjoys discovering the SAR and is considering staying here for the long term.
I love it here. It's great near to the ocean. I'm a natural person, I love the ocean. For the short term, I'll see how my work will go and how do I fit in and blending in into the Hong Kong community as well. As I think life just happens, I'll go and see where the life is taking me in the next few years.
When we return, a Twin City antique restoration effort. Stay with us. Welcome back to Pearl Magazine. The Hong Kong Palace Museum provides the public access to valuable imperial Chinese collections and rare artifacts from other countries. Lately, some locals have also shown support for the museum by donating their collections. These range from old Chinese gold ornaments to a French industrial locomotive clock. As we find out, in order to keep the artifacts in good shape, the Hong Kong Palace Museum has established a partnership with experts from the Forbidden City in Beijing. Hong Kong Palace Museum regularly presents special exhibitions featuring art and treasures from around the world. In March, the museum presented an exhibition of donors' collections. During Chinese New Year, 5 Beijing antique restorers flew to Hong Kong and exchanged their knowledge on antique conservation.
I'm so happy today. This spring celebration is so much fun. It's like a banquet. The Palace Museum's experts are here. We're gathered together, exchanging our knowledge on arts restoration. They won't stay here long, so this is a valuable opportunity.
43-year-old Chi Haonan has been with the Palace Museum for 19 years. He is an antique watch and clock conservator. He takes part in restoration work for the Hong Kong Palace Museum. Museum director Louis Ng says Chi's contributions help bring new life to artifacts.
For our museum, antique conservation and restoration work is of utmost importance. We hope to raise our standards and increase the people on our team. That's why we have an agreement with Beijing's Palace Museum that they will back us up in the future.
Chi Haonan enjoys repairing mechanical items. He's captivated by antique mechanical watches and clocks, which is why he works as an antique timepiece restorer in Beijing's Palace Museum. So far, he has restored over 100 timepieces. This time, Chi came to Hong Kong to restore a more than century-old locomotive clock. He came to Hong Kong last November to examine the clock's condition. He found components were in the wrong place, so he looked at pictures of antique clocks and put the gears in the right positions so the clock can once again work.
This is a typical French clock, which was made during the Industrial Revolution. It looks like a locomotive, one of an industrial series crafted by the maker Guillemot around the year of 1900. Because the gears are so tiny, I have to hold them with my hands, and then I screwed them down with a tool. It's very tiring. We will fix the artifacts if we have total confidence that we can do it. If we separate the components with insufficient knowledge, it will cause more damage to the item. It wouldn't respect the antiquity of it. Also, it violates professional conduct. So when we fix an artifact, we definitely give new life to it.
The restoration of this locomotive clock is finished. Chi hopes to repair more antique timepieces to make them work again.
Our aim is to make the timepieces work again. Other antiquities are static. The uniqueness of timepieces is that they can move. The motion is like a performance. So whenever we see the device working after restoration, we are very satisfied. But the sad thing is that watch and clock exhibitions are basically motionless.
Antiquity restorers Chi Haonan and Min Junrong took part in the talks held by Hong Kong Palace Museum. They shared their skills and opinions on conservation with Hong Kong Palace Museum docents.
Our talks cover the skills of timepiece restoration. We hope more people understand the challenge of conservation and its significance. We hope more people will enter the industry after watching these antique timepieces move again.
This docent, Daisy, is very interested in antiquities. She says it is a great chance to learn about Beijing's Palace Museum restorers' experiences.
I do want to shake hands with those masters when I see them. I really feel the passion, the emotions on conservation. It is their mission to restore artifacts. I really admire them. This collectible item is a gift from my father to celebrate my wedding anniversary. This is a bronze mirror made in the Han Dynasty. This mirror inspires us to know more about ancient Chinese metal.
Betty Lo's parents are collectors of ceramics and jadeite. Under their influence, Betty has developed a great interest in artifacts. Betty and her husband have amassed plenty of antiques over the past 30 years. In 2022, they donated over 900 ancient Chinese gold and silver collections to the Hong Kong Palace Museum. Recently, 30 of them were shown in the first exhibition of the donors' collection.
This one is donated to Hong Kong Palace Museum, serial number 1. It is a crown from the Ming Dynasty. The gold crown is decorated with 2 dragons. It also has 2 wings with double dragons. They are made of mesh gold. It is decorated with dragons, bats, and water lilies. All the ornaments have a Chinese culture symbol. This type of ornament was passed to the Tang dynasty. The princes wore them, so it has great significance. We donated it to a museum for further analysis that will enhance the academic value and offer more knowledge to the public. So this is the right choice.
Before the exhibition, museum staff take great care of Betty's ancient gold crown when placing it in the case.
Prior to the show, we would examine the artifact's condition and do some restoration. We support the item with some racks if it is necessary. They are also Hong Kong Palace Museum's collection. This is the first exhibition showing a wide range of artifacts to the public. This is a gratitude to our donors. It also shows the joint efforts from our team and the Palace Museum. So I look forward to this show.
Ancient arts and crafts are evidence of change during certain eras. Antique conservators try to restore them. Hong Kong Palace Museum Director Louis Ng hopes the public will learn the story behind these antiquities.
These batch of artifacts are donated by Hong Kong collectors. It shows their support to us. These items are the first batch of collections of our museum. They have a great significance. When we built the Hong Kong Palace Museum, we didn't expect to have our collections so quickly. Antiquities are the best evidence of time that an object was preserved for decades, a few hundred years, or a few thousand years. Through the study of these artifacts, we learn about our roots, our identity. I think preservation, exhibition, and education of antiquities is important to civic education and the whole society.
That's our show for this week. Join us on Pearl Magazine, same time next week. Bye for now.